there you go. What's in it for all of you? Let's recap. We will learn how to buy time to think under pressure. That's what we all need. And how about some simple tips to respond if you do not have the answer? I mean, we're not walking Google, right? I don't even use walking encyclopedia. Nobody uses encyclopedia nowadays, but we don't know everything. What if you are delivering a presentation and you have your stakeholders, clients, bosses shooting questions at you of which you don't have the answers? Even if you buy all the time in the world, nothing can come out. So we will share with you simple tips when you do not have the answer. And of course, the third and finally, when everything that comes out, sometimes we are so nervous that it comes out misconstrued, or it will sound shaky, or we don't even know what the heck we are saying. So the third and final benefit to you is to know how to get your point across clearly and calmly. So let's take a look at my learning methodology. So I'm not going to just tell you how it's going to be like vomit, vomit, vomit. I'm going to raise your awareness, right? We're going to ask some questions, think about it. I will even demonstrate how most of us will react. In the full day workshop, I will invite you all to join me in the role play. But over here, I have to do it myself so that we can keep the time short and you still get the point. Once you know what you do not know, you will be more open to the content that I have to share, the tips that I have prepared for all of you. And of course, the exercise. In the 1 hour keynote or so, we don't have much time to exercise, but you can practice on your own. So this is my overall learning methodology. Cool, you can ace it. Now's the fun time. Those of you who have joined me previously, you know what we are coming up next is Kahoot time. All right, this is not a workshop of which I will include prizes. This is not a quiz, it's a poll. So can everyone please whip out your mobile phones or your iPads and key in the words kahoot.it. And I'm going to open my Kahoot right now. And I will generate a game pin. And then you key in the pin, okay? Kahoot.it. Okay, I paused Kahoot music for a while. Be as crazy as you like, all right, with the names, be fun. Okay, I was told to reduce the sound on my laptop. But anyway, let's enjoy the Kahoot music, one of my favorite. Ready? We have 300 over, let's see, 375 of you who have joined us, but we have only 230 now. I wish I could wait for everyone because time is so little. I'll wait for 10 more seconds, all right? And then those of us who can catch up later on, you just join in, because maybe half of you don't have a mobile phone, or your kids are playing with your phone, or your phone is charging, whatever. I can't be like waiting for you. So 10 seconds, 9. All right, let's begin the pre-webinar poll. 5 simple questions. The first one is, my ability to think under pressure shows confidence and really a right or wrong answer. It's my opinion. So 44 of us will say, no, even if you think slowly, it still shows that you're confident and competent. You will have every right to your opinion. But well, let's take a look, especially when I share, how can the ability to think quickly under pressure reflect your confidence and competence? Next question. Oh, just for fun. Fastest is low. Low, yeah, the fastest finger. Second question. How do you see your own ability to think under pressure? Oh, really? The music really giving me pressure. It's like a sharp music, right? Wow. 37 congratulations. Convince you use that, right? You can just pick off the cuff, make thing up. And 166, which is majority of us, is half. Sometimes I'm really good, and when it's my good day, or sometimes I freeze. And then we have 35 of us, like most of the time, and 12 of you, rest assured, I hope my tips today can help you to at least freeze only sometimes, not all the time. And let's look at the next question. When I express my thoughts and my feelings to others, they always get it. Sometimes. half. Yes, many of us are going to be upgraded to a better version of yourself today. And none of us, so usually don't get me. And 5 of you, whatever, get it, don't get it, I don't care. It's fine. But you know what? I think you care because you're here. Otherwise, you'd be doing something else, right? Next one. The fourth one. I see my ability to influence others through the way I communicate. That's so fantastic. I can influence others. The way you influence. It works. Do better. Communication. How you can influence others. From the earlier one, in the sense that sometimes our ability to influence others is not by speaking a lot, right? It's what we say, and we have majority of us half, 19 of us great, 70 better, can be better, and 8 seriously we need help. And here comes the final question. We need you to key in 20 characters most. What expectations do you have? More music? Motivation. All the words are like trying to be given birth to. And Rina shared on the group here to perform and under pressure. And Zarina said to perform with back-to-back deadline. Stressful. And Lei Chiu says to stay calm. 5 more seconds and we will have a nice big word cloud. Bring out your phones, people. It's time to take my shot. Bring it. Kamu is going to squeeze all your words into one big one. The communication is the big word there. Thank you, everybody. Let me do a quick read. Confident, communicate. Yay! I've definitely learned today about communication. So just for fun, insert in the fastest finger, it's flower, sunflower. Let's play. I love the sound of the Kahoot music. Dun, 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 dun. So there you go. From what I remember and recall from the Kahoot results, most of us are like half-half. Half-half in the sense that sometimes we are good at getting our point across, sometimes we are not. Sometimes we can influence others, sometimes we can't. And there's, of course, a group of us, a smaller group, they will say that, yay, I can do it. But I'm sure you're here because there are always new things to learn. So let's dive into it. And coming back to where we are just now, and the next one here, we'll dive into this part, think under pressure. So for the purpose of today's showcase webinar, I picked out some of the key points from tool 1 and 2. So tips not just to buy time, but after that, how to respond. So there will be 5 tips. Whip out your notebooks or your phones, anything that helps you in your learning. The first tip is pause. The first tip is pause. When someone asks you a question, especially an unexpected question, most of us feel the need to give a quick response. For example, you walk past the lobby and the boss said, so have you emailed the report? Boss, by the time you, all those are called the F words. They are useless. They're useless words, but I know you're trying to buy time. So your mind goes like, all those sounds, they reduce or whatever you're going to say after that. So when your boss asks you, whatever comes after that, you wonder, are you sure? You sound like, but instead of doing the, well, you know, but then all those useless words, replace it with pause. Let's do a scenario here. I have my little clipboard here. Action. So Barbara, so when can you submit the report? Oh, boss, I think I can submit it by today. Yeah. Okay, cut. So that was the first scene when the boss asked, okay, maybe let me put my glasses on. When I'm the boss, right, I look more serious. Okay, so you know this is the boss face. So just as the boss asked, in this case, Barbara, now we have seen, see how Barbara will use the power of pause. Let's go. Action. Barbara, so when can you submit the report? Boss, okay, so you notice whatever I'm going to say next, I'm going to explain in the next few tips. But when I paused, I'm actually buying time. And plus, when you pause, you look very intelligent. Like you're so clever, you know. Whereas you look desperate, you look eager. It doesn't show much about your confidence. All right, so tip number 1 will lead us to tip number 2. After you pause, what do you do next? Tip number 2 is you comment about the question. So let's say just now the boss asked, so Barbara, when can you submit the report? And then Barbara pauses. Regarding the report on the attendance from the recent virtual training, that means you say something about the question. It helps you to buy time. You can apply that in almost any situation. People can ask you, how home? Okay, negate it. All right, sorry, can we hold on to the annotation for a while so that we can focus on the session? All right, thank you for your expressive. You can write it in the comments so that we will not use the screen over here. Abigail, can you please disable the annotate function? I think you must have forgotten to do that. All right, so let me just exit this first. Okay. All right, so just as not to disrupt anybody, thank you for your comments, but we would like you to keep any comments on the chat box if you like. So back to this. The second tip here, you comment about the question. That means when whatever they ask you, oh, when are you going to do this and that? It's like, oh, I'm going to do this and that. So talking about that, and I'm going to do this. So when you comment about the question, that's where you can start to buy more time. All right. I noticed someone is still annotating. It's all right. If you just love writing, if the person can hear me, please hold on to your comments because it will disrupt the flow of the session. All right. Thank you very much. And the third tip here, after you have paused and you have commented on the question, you repeat the question. So it could be when you comment to be, that is a good question. Oh, that is an excellent question. And then you repeat, oh, about that. So when you repeat that, that's where you are buying even more time. So let's think about it. When you pause, that is a very good question. So regarding that project that you're talking about, I would have bought myself about 10 to 12 seconds of time to think about which report my boss is talking about, rather than Simply put, people can just charge a question at you as fast as they like, and they want you to go into gear 5, but you do not need to shift into gear 5 right away. You can go gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4 before you reach gear 5. You control the pace of how fast you want to answer. So thinking on your feet does not mean that you have to think fast. Thinking on your feet is how do you keep your feet together, looking calm, looking confident. At this, you can buy time to give the. All right, so after you repeat the question, so because of this person, I have to exit so that I can clear that writing. That is okay. You're making me think on my feet as well, right? Throwing curveballs. Bring it, people. So tip number 4. What if we do not know the answer? This is what we call in Singapore, we Tai Chi the question. What do you mean by Tai Chi the question? Oh, thank you. I have someone laughing. Yeah, I know. We're very good at this. So this is an example. Like when I run a meeting or I conduct a training, people will ask me questions. When someone asks me, so Maxine, based on what you've just said, do you think it will apply to everyone in the different organizations? So I will apply the first 3 tips, right? That is a very insightful question, I comment. So whether this point I mentioned would apply to everyone else in the company, I do have the answer, but I'd like to hear some of the thoughts from the rest of us. So which one of us in this room would have experienced, or in your opinion, think that what I've just mentioned would apply to the rest of the people in the company? Who do you think? So this method here is very powerful because not only are you able to deflect the question, you're buying even more time to think. And when you deflect the question, make sure you look like you know the answer. If you look like, oh, that is a great question. Let's see who knows the answer. It's written all over your face that you don't know the answer. You need to look very intelligent. Like, It is a very valid question. So whether this point will relate to the rest of us in the company, I do have the answer. You notice I use the phrase, I do have the answer, but before I share my point of view, I'd like to hear what are your thoughts. So it helps you to look not only more intelligent, more competent, you can totally Tai Chi the question away. Clever, right? And then before I come to the 5th one, right? I just want to pause for a while and ask, okay, let's ask, what if people approach you with anger and demands an answer? Okay, I'll address this in a moment, and this will happen. So first of all, let's hear some comments on tip 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which one have you all been using, or which one are you going to start using? 1, 2, 3, or 4? You may not have thought of it before. Yeah, I never thought of commenting on the question. I never thought of pausing. I'm always like, so which one okay, I never tried before. Yes, some of you, yes, please try. Some of you say number 4, Tai Chi, and never tried. Yes, who said we have to answer all the questions in the world? When you Tai Chi the question, people have asked me, what if it's only the boss and me in the room?
Sorry, di ko kayo narinig.
Okay, I think you're not talking to me. So what if the question is just asked to me by my boss in the room? There's no one to Tai Chi to. Well, there's still someone, your boss. This is why you can say, boss, I do have my opinion. In fact, before I share, I'd like to consult you from your experience. How has it been? You can Tai Chi back to the boss. You know, this is the thing about this personality type. People who love to shoot you questions, half the time, they know the answer. I just see you know or not. Don't know right, don't know right. So you cannot ask them back the question You have to phrase it such that when you deflect, boss, so what do you think? And of course, if the boss says, no, you answer, then the boss, he throws back, right? That will bring us to the tip 5. Let me see some comments first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comment and repeat. Yes. Until people forget. I love that. Tip 4 is a good one. Thank you. And remember, for it to be effective, you need to remember to use phrases like, before I share with you my thoughts, I like to hear what the others think. All right? It's a very powerful phrase. Rather than, oh, you asked me, who knows the answer? Not the kind of Dumbo-looking deflection. It has to be a very intelligent way to Tai Chi. Get it? Get it? Okay. Here comes the 5th one. You answer the question using the PREP technique. Some of you may have heard it before, and it is getting to the point. Now, for this technique itself, I have to acknowledge the source. It did not come from me. Okay, I see at the bottom right-hand corner. I'm sure there are people from Toastmasters International in this group here. Can you say, yes, me? Oh, someone said, thank you. You're welcome. Jia Xin Feng. I think you're Jia Xin, increased salary. Right? Any Toastmasters in the room? Like me, yeah. Any Toastmasters? Calling once, calling twice? Okay, nobody responded. Still thinking. Anyway, Toastmasters International has been around for more than 100 years, and there's one technique that they share in all the exercises is how do you think on your feet? Well, they call it the impromptu, or in Chinese, 即席演讲, right? How do you think fast? So typically it's called table topics because they are topics spoken at the table. You could be having a meal, you could be having a board meeting, a company committee meeting, so on and so forth. So when people ask you questions and you just, let's take for example, after this webinar, and let's say your family member outside will ask you, so how was the webinar? Oh, good, very good. End of story, right? Or your boss asks you, hey, you're registered for the webinar. How did it go? Was it worth your time? You all took 1.5 hours for it, right? Instead of doing my report, was it worth the time? Oh, boss, it was very good. End of story. It doesn't reflect much about what you have heard, what you have learned. So here comes the powerful 4-step framework. Let's take this out and I will demonstrate how to use it. Here is your statement. You are happy or you're angry. It has to be a point. But most of the time, when we first respond, we may not know exactly what we are about to say. So this framework is excellent for those of us who cannot think under pressure. When we're put under pressure, our brain becomes mushy. So when you have a PREP, it's great for the left brainers, those of us who are more logical thinking type, right? So you park that framework in your brain. P is point. R, in this case, R is the reason. What is the reason behind the point? After you have stated your reason, let's give an example or share some evidence that will support your point. And after you have beefed up your whole thing, and that's where you come back to hit the point. So back to that simple example just now. Your boss will email you or call you and say, hey, so Jolene, how was the webinar this afternoon that you all attended? The point is, oh boss, it was very insightful because the speaker Maxine, she shared certain tips that I never thought of before. For example, she mentioned one of the tips is about Tai Chi. I always try to answer all the questions on my own. When I don't know, sometimes I feel really embarrassed. For example, one time when I was in a team meeting and some of my staff actually asked me if I have any reports on one of the recent incidents. And I didn't know what to actually tell them, and it didn't strike me that someone else in the committee would have the answers. So I just looked at her and said that, I don't really have the answer now. I'll let you know later. And after the meeting, one of the committee members came up to me and said, actually, boss, I have the report. Then the boss said, why didn't you say anything? And then she said, but you didn't ask me. So I realized that, coming back to hit the point, I think today one of my biggest takeaway, it was a very insightful session because it shared with me things like deflect, the question when I don't have the answer. Ding! What do y'all think? Come, give me some response. You like it? You like it? Simple, right? You can use it. You can use my answer, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yes, I attended a session before, very interactive. Thank you. Whether it's virtually, face-to-face, thank some of you to share, because for today's session, it really requires you to think on your feet. No point just reading a book and all that. So I would like to invite someone to actually switch on. You don't have to show your video in case you didn't do makeup or comb your hair or didn't have a chance to get to the barber. Like myself, I didn't manage to go to the barber, so I cut it myself. And, do you notice the color of my hair, by the way? Who can tell the color of my hair? Okay, never mind. So I'm going to pick a name. I'll have Rina, thank you. I love your excellent. Rina, can you unmute yourself? I just like you to practice to experience how simple this technique is. Rina Chan. Please, Rina, unmute yourself. You will learn so much more when you can experience what it's like, how to use it. Oh, Rina said you're shy. Okay, so clever. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for saying I'm clever. Okay, Alicia, can you join me? Just the voice. You don't have to show anyone your face. No one will know it's you. Alicia. Alicia. I hope someone can support. Please, there's 300 over of you. You mean not one can. If you want to really increase your content. Hey, oh, I wasn't, okay, Alicia Tay, are you going to join me, Alicia? Alicia, I want to try, oh, lovely. Okay, I have a few. Okay, thank you. I'm going to pick y'all. Firstly, I'm going to pick Diana. Diana Wong, yes. You have to try it. Otherwise, it's all just 纸上谈兵, okay, just theory. Can we have Diana, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, I'll stop share. So, okay, maybe I can leave this here. Yes, thank you, Diana. So let's practice this. We'll start with something simple, all right? No big question. So thank you for, we're going to apply this PREP. But before that, let's recap the tips together, Diana. When I first ask you a question, what will be the first thing that you do?
You back the same question, but in a very tactful manner.
Is that you, Diana? It sounds like someone else now.
It's me.
Oh yeah, that's a nice deep voice. Oh, that's great. Oh, that not yet. Remember, the tip number 1 is you pause. You're gonna pause a little bit to buy some time. After you pause, then you, what's the second tip, Diana? Then you comment on the question. Remember? Oh, that is a good question. Oh, okay. You comment. You say something about the question. Oh, wow, this is a very popular question. Just say something like that. Okay?
Sure.
And then the third tip, then you, what's the third tip? You repeat the question.
Okay.
How about this? Okay, let's not make it so stressful for you. I'm going to show you the slide, okay? We do it together like this. Is that all right? We'll pause, and then I will show you this, and then you comment, and then I show you this, and you repeat, and then you use this. You don't deflect. This one not applicable. No deflection allowed. But you're going to try. You're going to answer with the prep. All right. We'll start from the beginning. So Diana, thank you very much. And this is the context. I am your boss. I'm going to ask you a simple question, like just now. Right? Warm up. So Diana, to this afternoon you attended the webinar, right, by Aventis on thinking on your feet. So how was it?
Then after that, I comment. That's a very interesting seminar and a very interesting question.
Okay, pause first.
Very popular.
I gotta pause. You're not going to prep yet. You're commenting. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad that you asked me. Or, oh yeah, that's a question I was hoping you would ask me. So comment about the question. You're buying time here. Yeah, we have take two, ready, action. So Diane, so you attended the webinar this afternoon. So how was it?
I pause. Yes. I'm very glad that you asked me that question. Actually, it was a
As to how I felt about the webinar, you repeat the question.
oh, okay. You are asking me how do I feel about the seminar, the webinar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I point to the question and then
Your point? You're doing great. You have reached the final.
How do I go about it? Got sample?
Okay. For example, okay, I'm asking you an honest question as well. What do you think of the webinar so far, Dan?
The webinar was very interesting, very engaging.
Good,
Very interactive.
Because it was interactive. Okay,
Yeah.
example.
Like the instructor gave me a chance, an opportunity to share my example, and we practice using the slides. Yeah.
Oh yes, which is why
I feel that this is a very fantastic seminar, which I would like to encourage everybody to attend.
Oh, Diane, you did it. It was easy, right, Diane?
No, it was very tough.
But the point here is you did it. You got out of your comfort zone. You were put on the spot, which some of us rejected my offer, and you aced it. So
I'm sweating from head to toe. Thank you for the guidance.
This is a great start. Thank you so much, Dan. We're going to invite our next friend who actually said, pick me, pick me. After Diana, we have Mandy. Mandy. Lei Chu said, pick Mandy as well. Well, you have an advocate there. Mandy, I'll show you the slide so you don't have to memorize what we said earlier on. Mandy.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Mandy.
Hello.
So now you got the feel, right? Let's practice this. When you pause, right, now we're going to take it a level higher, especially if it is a phone call. Right? Phone call, people can't see you, just like now I cannot see how you look. So when you pause, it shouldn't be a radio silence. Otherwise, you'll be like, hello, are you there, right? What kind of sounds can you make when you're pausing? Yes, you got it. Yes, that is an intelligent pause. Sometimes we go like, that one is a very lousy, weak sound of pause. But I love your very upward inflection, very intelligent sounding pause. It's like, I know the answer. I can't wait to tell you. It's got that effect. So great. So you got that one, Mandy. So you go, So now I'm going to ask you the question, okay? And you're going to do that, and then comment, and then you repeat, and then you use the prep. Mandy, everyone is thinking that this COVID-19 is going to be over very soon in the next 3 months. What do you think,
I think for the question itself of the COVID-19, nobody can actually judge for when it will stop. But hopefully everybody will be thinking of stopping at 3 months, like the starting of June, the 2nd June. Hope everything goes well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for the question that you are asking.
Okay, first of all, this is take one. We all clap for Mandy. Mandy, I'm going to raise your game now. It's good. It can be great. Let's start from the beginning. When you did the it was cool. I like the sound effect. You did not comment on the question. You dived straight into answering the question.
I'm so sorry.
No, please don't. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to work together so that the 300 over of us can learn from you. Feel good about yourself, okay? The last thing you should feel, or even not on your list, is feeling sorry. So let's talk about this. How would you comment on the question? Now we're not in a role play, just ask, what do you think COVID-19 pandemic situation will be over in the next 3 months? What do you think? So what can you say? This is a very
good questions.
Yes, it can be a good question. It can be a tricky question. It could be a very hard to answer question. It could be a very insightful question. It could be anything like that. So you comment on it. And so let's practice the first two.
It's a very good question.
Okay, good. Okay, and then we move on to this one. How do you repeat the question then?
So you mean the COVID-19
situation
situations will be
over?
after 3 months? Will it be after 3 months or
Yes, that's it.
yeah.
So there you go. You did it. So that is a good question.
That is a good question.
Then what do I think whether this COVID-19 will be over in 3 months' time? So when you do all that, right, you can really give it some thought. So great, you passed the first 3. Ching, ching, ching. Now we move to the final one. And just now your answers were, I would imagine, is how you usually speak. You just say it all out. And now with this session that we're learning here, let's do it step by step. So firstly, let me interview you. Mandy, do you think it will be over in 3 months' time?
I don't think so, because right now there's no vaccinations.
Yes. And then
so that's a reason, and there is no scientist or any evidence that says so that it will actually be over, because then get to the point.
Give it a bit more meat.
It's a very true.
Give it a bit more meat. It's good because this is a conversation, right?
Okay, so
you are very good here.
So.
Evidence?
I don't think so, because there's no evidence. Even a scientist can't actually predict when it will actually the vaccination will be out, or the whole situation will be stopping. Yeah. So
which is why
I think we can't really predict, but let's stay safe and stay healthy. Yeah. And remember to wash your hands. Yeah, that is something that I can say.
Oh, you became propaganda after that, but it's great and positive. So thank you so much, Mandy. Just before you go off, I just want to round off. I know you were going into the positive mode and all that, but if this is about getting your point across, my question was not asking you to give advice to the public on how to stay safe. My question was to ask you, what is your view that COVID-19 will be cleared up in 3 months' time? So you need to close that loop. So before you go off, can you close that loop? So you say, yeah, evidence has shown, I listen to the radio every day, I follow the news closely, no vaccination has been found to date, which is why? In my opinion,
let's stop guessing and stay healthy.
You're going to propaganda mode again. Okay,
okay. I think.
You want to give it one more shot? You have to come back to hit the point. You started off with a very clear point, but you lost it after that. What is your clear point? You said, I don't
think so.
Yes, I don't think so that it will clear up in 3 months' time.
Yeah.
But you can add, you can finish off on the positive note. For example, you say, yeah, and I don't think it will clear up in 3 months' time. But you know, miracles can happen. So if all of us can stay safe and be careful, we could possibly, you know, who knows. But at the moment, I don't think it's possible. But we all hope for the best. Then you jump. Junction Guli Guli to Mandy. Thank you so much, Mandy. I wish I could. Thank you so much. And the rest of us were just watching.
Thank you.
And now, my pleasure. Now we're going to practice the art of deflection, because sometimes we really don't know the answer, right? Let's talk about the art of deflection here. Let's see who said pick me. Pick me, pick me. Oh, you all asked me to pick Mandy. Okay, let's talk about the deflection. Just now, I mentioned that we could deflect to the boss, or deflect to people in the room, or deflect to the boss. But what if the boss cannot answer, but someone else can, but they're not in the room? So this is another aspect of deflect that I want to throw in. So let's give a scenario here. Okay, I'll get into the role play so y'all get it. So my character name is Barbara. Barbara Lee. Those of you who have been in my courses, you know, that's my stage name. So the boss is going to ask me about a project, and I will deflect the question. I'm going to apply all the 5 techniques that I've shared, and including the deflect. Ready? Action. Action. So So, Barbara, thanks for coming to the room. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, the project that I've been working on, compiling all the data about the team members, about the recent engagement level. How is the status at the moment? Yes, and I'm really glad that you asked me about the status, boss, because as you asked me about the status of the level of engagement, right, of all our staff, yeah, I did consolidation, and I wish I could give you the answer right away because I do have a staff who is working on it. Julie, in fact, you know her. Julie, she is the one compiling the Excel sheet. So what I can do is to, right after this meeting, I'm going to have a quick chat with her and I'll ask her to compile the report and we'll send it to you within, let's say, the next 1 hour. How does that sound, boss? Okay, good. So Julie has the report. Oh, all right. So get Julie to email to me. All right, boss. That'll be cool. What else would you like me to talk about, boss? Oh yeah, Barbara, now they're here, I also want to ask you, what do you think is the morale of our team right now? Because everyone with this work from home and all, and a lot of them have children, right? The home-based learning drove a lot of them crazy, and I'm also thinking like maybe you being in HR, what kind of the morale do you think the team has right now? Yeah, boss. This is a very thoughtful question, and it just shows how much you care about us. As to what I think about the morale of our team right now, I would say that it was very, very low, but it's getting much better. Why do I say that? Very, very low was the last 2 months. When things just hit and everyone had to work from home, no more rotation, and everyone was stuck at home. I received so many emails, messages. Some of them even had a mental breakdown. And that's why I think that it was really bad. For example, do you remember Geraldine? Yes, Geraldine, she has 2 kids. And her kids are very young, like 6 and 8 years old. And she shared with me that she doesn't have much support. Her husband is also working from home. And somehow, sorry to say, but somehow men just think that it's all women's job, right? So he just locks himself in the study room. And Geraldine has to not only answer calls, do projects, she still has to help her children submit the homework on a Google Drive and all that. So it was driving her nuts and her productivity was low and she was not able to meet the deadlines. So from that example, I can say that the morale was really bad for the last 2 months. But coming back to why I say it's better now, it's because recently everyone is like saying, hey, circuit breaker is almost over, we're gonna have rotation, and that's where the mood is picking up and people are more positive. Taking another example, remember Johnny? Yeah, I know a lot of women think that they are the ones doing just like Geraldine. But Johnny, his wife is a nurse, so the wife goes to work every day, having to see to the patients, and Jeremy has to be the house husband, look after the kids. I think most men are neglected. We all just assume that men do nothing. But in Jeremy's case, he was very stressed, but because it's school holidays now, it's much better. And he's also shared that because his wife has been working so hard, and that's where the hospital is giving her some day off. And that's where things are picking up. And we all know it's coming to a close. So I think with everybody's engagement and time is almost done. So I think, boss, coming back to the point, I think the morale was low previously, but it's really very good now. And comments, everybody. I just demonstrated 2 preps within that conversation. The first question, I deflected it because I didn't have the answer. Rather than, boss, you asked me, I don't know. Actually, Julie is the one in charge. The boss will look at you like you are the team leader, you should know. But I deflected it very professionally. Second one, I used examples to back up why did I say the mood was good and then it was bad and then became good. So let's see some comments. What do we have feedback here? Awesome, fantastic. Oh, thank you. So here, just to sum up, in fact, let's see if we have any, it sounds easy. It is that easy, really. My lovely son, he's 18 going on to 19. Since he was 12 years old, I taught him this art of thinking on his feet. I know many of us may not have the advantage, but his mother, May, is his secret coach. So since his BSL year, I taught him, even in Chinese, when teacher asked him, 你周末做什么? What do you do on the weekend? I taught him to use prep. So he said, 我周末跟妈妈打羽毛球 We play badminton over the weekend. 因为羽毛球很好玩，又可以强身健体 means it's very fun and it can be good for health. Example, he said, 我们每逢星期六都会在楼下打羽毛球，会在电梯门口打。那有时候会有邻居投诉，因为怕我们打破玻璃。So what my son says is, we will play badminton in downstairs at the lift because there's no wind, but sometimes we have neighbors who complain because they're afraid we break the glass. 所以呢，周末我喜欢跟妈妈打羽毛球，因为非常好玩，又强身健体。I love to play badminton with my mom because it is good for health and it's fun. And my son, the teacher was like, A+. Okay, for what you did in children, if they don't already know about this. My son had a head start, and today he's in Polytechnic. He slays all his assignments, presentation, thinking on your feet. It is that easy as you think it is. So I'd like to encourage you all. Oh, well said. Thank you, Super Law, really. I know, right? My son is not, he's the Ang Mo Kantang type. He's super good in English with A+++. Chinese, he said, Mom, it's not cool to speak Chinese. Then I share with him because I speak Mandarin and Cantonese as well. So I told my son, you know, the cool part is when you know how to say it and you choose not to say it, it's better than you don't say it because you don't know how to say it. You get it? When I'm in China to train, right, I said, good morning, everyone. And he's like, 哎呀，糟糕，这老师讲英语啊。This teacher speak English. 哎，大家好，来到中国当然是要讲普通话。哎呀，天哪，我的妈呀，他讲的普通话这么厉害，太牛了。That's where I choose to speak Mandarin when I want to. So of course, okay, this is sidetracking a little bit, but my point here is whatever we learn as adults, please share with your children, your nephews, your nieces, your fur babies. Okay, funny, huh? But coming to the close here, of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have so much to share and it's just a 1 hour. And over here, just to recap in the full day, we will share even more tips to buy time. We will go deep dive, and in the workshop, you will get a chance to role play. And we have brave friends today, Mandy, who came online and practice on, and she has benefited so much more than the rest of us who were just watching. And of course, the tripod concept will share different ways to expand on your answer with the magic of 3. And finally, simple, powerful calming techniques to help us keep cool and look confident and competent. So there you go. I promise I've covered almost everything. Oh yeah, and interaction. Give us the way how to manage. In fact, hang on this line here for a little while. If you're wondering how to sign up, please bring out your phones now and scan. If you're not from a government board, you will get $50 Grab food gift cards. And I will be throwing in my prizes for Kahoot. I will have many rounds of Kahoot quiz of which you can win prizes. And more importantly, you will become more confident, like me, to communicate and respond under pressure. So let's see, any questions that we have online calls or face-to-face? I wish face-to-face. Well, again, as what Mandy said, we do not know how's the situation going to be. This one is going to be virtual. And I'm happy to share with you, I have a fantastic track record that people say that even full-day workshop is so engaging and they will even do it again post-COVID. So it is that good. I mean, you all can feel it, right? You can feel the mood, right? It's going to be fun, a lot of things, and the only ways to comment. And of course, we have a colleague just now who enjoy annotation. We will have a lot of opportunities for you to write, scribble, draw, and things like that. All right, let's see. Thank you so much, Evelyn. Good morning. Thank you. That is to